Hello and welcome to Tooned In, a cartoon variety show where we do a deep dive on just about anything animation. I'm your host AwestruckVox, and today we're going through 20 amazing facts about Steven Universe Change Your Mind. We're ready to blow your mind. Number 1. Change Your Mind, also known as Battle of Heart and Mind, is the first Steven Universe episode to run completely 44 minutes in length without commercials. The closest that came to this prior was Steven Universe Wanted, which aired as one big event but was 4 separate episodes. Stuck Together, The Trial, Off Colors, and Lars's Head. It's also the 5th event Cartoon Network has made out of episodes in Steven Universe's 5th season, counting Wanted, Stranded, Can't Go Back in a Single Bell Rose, Heart of the Crystal Gems, and this special is effectively part of Diamond Days, which comprise of the episodes Lecture to Homeworld, Familiar, Together Alone, Escapism, and of course, Change Your Mind. 5th season, 5th event? Coincidence? I think not. Change Your Mind is also the final episode of the season, but not the series finale. I know that can be confusing given how it all ended, but there's more to come. Number 2. The Rainbow Worm from the Kaitrin colony rescued by Pink Diamond drew influence from various glowworm dolls, Orbity from the Jetsons, and as Sugar describes, the cute but hideous alien companions found in cartoons following the release of E.T. The worm is also voiced by Dee Dee Magnahall. Oh, Pearl. Number 3. Pink's Rainbow Worm was a part of the mini string of princess tropes they unleashed during this arc, following the Pebbles creating his clothes as a nod to Cinderella, being locked in the tower. At one point, executive producer Kat Morris even wanted Pearl to encourage Steven to attend his studies. The Rainbow Worms running amok Homeworld in particular was an allusion towards Aladdin. Pink Diamond wanted to free these worms the same way she longed to be free from Homeworld. Number 4. This episode illustrates the allegory that the diamonds are a body through their ships. Rebecca Sugar compares them to the Freudian motto of the psyche. Pink is the id, blue and yellow are the ego, and white is the superego. What transpires between them is the body's experience of embarrassment, where the id clashes with the superego. Number 5. Gem reformations. Early concepts of Rainbow Quartz 2.0 included a scarf, but it was important that the Fusion's clothing translated to the gem's reformations. Sadly, they couldn't get both the jacket and scarf to work on Pearl, stating that she looked like a kid detective. Peridot originally had the star glasses, but Garnet came out on top with that one, although at some point they tried to make Garnet's glasses transparent. Ultimately, Sugar realized everyone's reformations needed to reflect Steven's influence, as, excluding Amethyst, they have reformed since early on in the series. Number 6. Continuing the gem reformations, the final products. Pearl's new look serves as a testament to her independence. She's been very different, described as playing the field, exploring who she is. Lapis's gold accents are a nod to the Lazuli part of real-life Lazulis that make it sparkle. This is shown through Lapis's lacy belt and sandals, the latter of which Sugar longed for, stating she wants comfortable cosplay. The pants included things that people would want to wear. Different versions of Garnet's reformations were a bit more like a superhero, or knightly. Broader shoulders, a bigger torso, but ultimately, the Crewniverse was satisfied with their finalized look. They simply find it cool. A draft of Peridot's new look included star hair, something many fans requested, and drew in their own art, but it didn't work out. It felt like too much, and ultimately wasn't Peridot. However, her new glasses help give off the illusion of star hair through her silhouette. Peridot's gem is no longer protected behind her visor, it's now exposed. And finally, what was essentially her socks have been substituted with her boots. To get the entire 4-on-1 between the new looks of the gems, check out our breakdown. Number 7. Fusions. Let's start with Rainbow Quartz 2.0. Concept art of Rainbow Quartz 2.0 was first drawn by former storyboarder Colin Howard 3 whole years ago. Described as Mary Poppins meets Bert, Sugar immediately fell in love with Rainbow 2.0 and knew they would pull out this trump card eventually. The crew was also set on Rainbow's weapon being a parasol, the perfect combination of Steven's shield and Pearl's spear. The idea of the return of Smoky Quartz and Steven fusing with Pearl and Garnet was done by Ian Jones-Cordy, creator of OKKO himself. Ian really pushed the idea of Steven fusing with everyone in one giant sequence. The rest of the crew had doubt if such a thing could be pulled off, to which Sugar entrusted Ian. He would have to draw it himself if he wanted his vision to be realized. And boy did he do just that. Rainbow 2.0's voice actor, Alistair James, is believed to be doing an impression of his grandmother from Boston. Sugar also revealed that apparently, Pearl's fusions love to hear themselves talk, unless you're Opal apparently. Rainbow 2.0's pronouns are both he, him, they, them. Number 8. Sunstone. Sunstone was a newer design. initially drawn by Sugar as a cool son on a handout, giving it to storyboarders Mickey Brewster and Jeff Liu. When Joe Johnston was creating poses for Sunstone, he asked Sugar, "Alright, but what does the face look like?" To which she responded, "It looks like that." The point to Sunstone is, they're gems. They're cartoons! And that needed to be expressed in this fusion. Sunstone is a very intentional nod to the 90s aesthetic of a cool, radical, X-Games Sonic Says persona. Garnet's fusions can break the fourth wall, so the idea came about that a fusion with Steven would want to break the fourth wall and give advice to children. It's the perfect interaction between the two characters. Garnet already guides Steven, and Steven would love to do such a thing if he had Garnet's authority. Sunstone suction cups were done as an easy shoe-in for a Sunstone toy, giving that vibe of one of those Garfields you can stick to the back of your car window. Sugar really wants demand for this toy to exist. Let's make it happen! Hashtag Sunstone for suction. The Diamond Mech's foot coming down on the crystal gems and being pushed away by Sunstone isn't just a reference to Monty Python, but it's also a full circle nod to Arcade Mania, where the crystal gems discuss fighting a giant foot.
Fighting a giant foot!
If we're supposed to fight a giant foot, Garnet would let us know.
Sunstone's voice actress, Shonika Shendai's audition was exactly how the fusion sounded when pitched by storyboarder Mickey Brewster, flawlessly captivating the character. Sugar describes Sunstone as a good job sticker in your notebook. Sunstone's pronouns are both she, her, they, them. Number 9. Obsidian. Obsidian was the most long-awaited fusion, planned since the very beginning as the Crystal Temple. Their presence can even be found in the pilot of the series, with a drastically different design. From the name to the basic idea of the design, this fusion was ready to go since day one. Obsidian's sword can be found earlier in the series, in episodes such as Bubble Buddies and Ocean Gem. The main concern going into Change Your Mind was how Obsidian's sword worked. Would it already exist, or come to fruition through all the Gem's weapons coming together? Mickey Brewster ultimately came up with the solution while boarding. Number 10. Peridot's Trash Lid. Something Sugar was able to check off her bucket list for Steven Universe was referencing an older animated series with Peridot's lid. Peridot riding around on the trash can lid throughout the episode was a nod to Kit Cloudkicker from the Disney series Tailspin. Kit is a 12-year-old anthropomorphic cub who has the ability to cloud surf with a crescent-shaped device. Number 11. White Diamond. The earliest inspiration of White Diamond traces back to a 1946 short film called The Story of Menstruation. Commissioned by Kotex and produced by Disney, the short film is about what a woman should expect when she begins to menstruate. Sugar was very fascinated by not only the animation and designs of the film, but by a part where a sobbing woman is informed by the serene narrator to essentially put on an act and smile through her pain, as people still have to be around her. Her reflection smiling, although the woman was still in tears. The juxtaposition between the narrator's calmness and the nightmarish imagery really stuck with Rebecca Sugar. The voice of the narrator and the feeling of the short film is what Homeworld is, what White Diamond is. The idea that you cannot truly express yourself and you have to repress your emotions. You must keep up appearances in order to function. White's role in the story is that of a mother figure. To White Diamond, the diamonds and all the gems are her kids. Her way of thinking is that she is everyone, and everyone is her. A white light passing through every gem that allows her to be set light. She sees each gem as a little bit of her, but less. She kind of has no identity at all. She views herself as just light, as everyone. That idea of controlling others, turning them into her own image, reflects her ideology of everyone being the same. In Sugar's own words, White's wrong about everything. Who everyone is, and who she is. Before her encounter with Steven, she preferred to live in a delusion where everything is fine by asserting her dominance over others. Number 12. Homeworld architecture. Founding ideas and concepts of Homeworld brought about the ideas of gems either being sentient or turned into stone and being used as architecture. Steven encounters some of these gems in Familiar, whose purpose are just to simply be a building. A lot of concept art for Change Your Mind in particular depicts this living architecture. In the episode itself, we can spot a face on the bridge Yellow Diamond and Blue Diamond had their argument and battle on. I wonder if it's alive. Number 13. Change Your Mind is the last episode Matt Burnett and Ben Levin worked on before departing to work on their own show, Craig the Creek. The last thing they ever did on the show was hand out an outline for escapism, but were present for the board pitch of Change Your Mind. However, they were still responsible for the episode's story, and were pleased to see how well their ideas were executed. They really wanted every character to have their own moment and resolution. Number 14. Steven and his gem. The concept of Steven being separated from his gem was originally in the 10th produced episode of the series, Giant Woman, although that ended up being the 12th aired. The idea was quickly put on hold, as it was thought to be way too soon to introduce such a huge pill to swallow. While a direct parallel was shown in 3 Gems and the Baby, when Pearl attempted to remove Steven's gem, seeds were planted all the way back in Mirror Gem. If gems could be placed into objects, could Steven himself be one of those objects? Once this revelation was on the back burner, the Crewniverse decided to gradually build up the conflict of Steven's identity crisis, and just what would happen if he lost his gem. So when White removes it and we cut to that commercial break, there would be panic, and worries of Rose Quartz herself reforming from the gemstone. The hottest debates between the Crewniverse always came down to who Steven would be when separated from his gem. The end result was an amalgamation of these arguments and ideas, one of the final touches being the emotionless, expressionless state of Pink Steven. The earliest pitches had Rebecca Sugar using Steven's model sheet as a reference to how Pink Steven behaved. Number 15. Rebecca Sugar storyboarded the scene of Pink Steven's reformation and the consequence of such. The 2 perspectives were a clever play on how the show follows Steven's perspective. Steven being split into 2 allowed for a split screen of 2 different perspectives, but it also showcased just how disorienting Steven's experience was. There's something unnerving with having a Steven that's barren of a personality. His humanity is across the room, unable to hold itself together, leaving nothing but power left. This sequence is what happens when the relationship he's been building up with himself is torn apart. He's only truly Steven when he's together. Number 16. James Baxter. We all know that Disney Renaissance animator James Baxter was responsible for the amazing reunion between the 2 Stevens. But as with most things, there's quite the interesting story behind it. Sugar initially met Baxter face to face in 2014. He asked if Sugar could draw something for his daughter's birthday party, to which she of course didn't hesitate. This drawing of Steven and Rose Quartz was quickly driven to Baxter and his daughter, to which Baxter stated he owed Sugar a favor. And boy, did she hold on to that promise. Baxter delivered the complete animation by himself, including the cleanup and everything. Only the inking was handled overseas by Sunman, and contrary to popular belief, there was no CGI involved. Everything was authentic and hand-drawn. Sugar describes this moment as the fusion dance of the show, the ultimate moment of the Princess Gauntlet. Everything built up to this rotating accumulation of Steven owning his identity. Number 17. Rebecca Sugar always longed for a Hot Springs episode of the show, referring to the many episodes of anime where the main cast takes off to a hot spring. For those unfamiliar, think spa but you're in the water. And it can get pretty fan servicey depending on how raunchy the anime in question wants to get. They were able to fulfill this wish through the episode's conclusion, throwing all the corrupted gems into Rose's fountain for one big bubble bath. Number 18. Corrupted Gems. According to ENJQ, who handled a bulk of the corrupted gems being healed, the longer a gem is corrupted, the more their form when healed will reflect their time as a creature they became rather than their original form. Hence why a lot of the corrupted gems drastically vary from the gems we encountered on Homeworld. On the contrary, gems like Jasper only possess spots and horns as they were corrupted for a small amount of time. Jones Cordy revealed that he went through every single episode with a corrupted gem, studied their design, and then drew what their uncorrupted form would look like from there. Number 19. Pearl's line towards the end of the episode, "Room for 3 more?" To which Steven answers, "Always," calls back to the conclusion of the earlier season 5 episode Gemcation, where the exact same exchange happens between the 2. In both cases, it's a heartwarming moment that reflects just how strong the bond between all 4 crystal gems have become. Last but certainly not least, number 20. The song Change Your Mind actually wasn't created for the show itself, but rather a personal song for Rebecca Sugar herself, when fighting for Ruby and Sapphire's wedding. Initially, the network wasn't too keen on the idea of these 2 lovable characters getting married, to the point where Sugar was ready and willing to walk away if they didn't comply. Sugar wasn't sure if she wanted to include the song, as she would feel exposed, but felt it was the thesis she arrived at to function as a showrunner. She didn't want to half say what she felt, but fully put her experience and feelings out there. And there you have it, 20 unique facts about Steven Universe Change Your Mind. Which one was your favorite? How many surprised you? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at RoundtableVids, and you can find me at AwestruckVox. We're also on Instagram. You can help the Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of our channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, throw it a like, and subscribe to the Roundtable so you never miss any great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. AwestruckVox, out.